This is an introduction to hairpin crochet, a vintage crochet technique using a Susan Bates hairpin lace loom. If you're right-handed, you will use your working yarn from the left. First, we will take the working yarn and bring it behind the loom, and we will create a tight knot. Most hairpin lace loom instructions will recommend a slip knot, and I learned this technique in the 70s that a tight knot serves a better purpose. Slip knots live up to their name and slip, and you will constantly be tugging on this tail to tighten your first starting loops. And you always want to mark your strip at the bottom by putting a knot in the bottom the bottom tail. Okay, and have the tail behind the crossbar. Your working yarn will always be coming from the left and behind the left prong. Your left hand will control the tension of the yarn and will control the loom, and will also control the hook, in addition to your crocheting with the hook. So you will take your yarn and hold it in the position that's most comfortable for you and when you're doing regular crochet, and depending on the type of yarn it is. Okay, and the first thing is that pay attention to the position of my hands, my fingers on the loom. My fingers will really not move from this position when holding the loom, but will move somewhat when flipping the loom and controlling the loom. So your first step is to insert your hook into the left loop, to the left of the knot. You will always work to the left of the knot as we make a single crochet up the center of the loom. So insert and bring your working yarn over the hook, pull through, and you will see how my thumb is going to play a big role in controlling this loop that we're going to create. And you're going to make a slip stitch, the only one that you'll need when crocheting the basic strip. Okay, now even for someone like myself who's been crocheting with the loom since the 70s, the beginning of the strip is going to be awkward. So don't get discouraged. Okay, so we've made our slip stitch. You want to make sure that this stitch right here, this loop right here, is going to be somewhat loose, because the first thing we're going to do is take this hook and drop it back. Notice that you're going to keep the hook straight up and down, and your middle finger now is going to go to the back of the hook to keep it from falling or slipping. Now your right hand is free, and you're simply controlling the loom with your left hand. You have your yarn here, you have your hook, and you're going to take your two fingers and just hold the hook. You're not going to do anything with the hook, just hold it still while your left hand flips the loom upward. Okay, so the left prong is now the right prong. Alright, now you have total control of your hook because it didn't move. Now bring your hook in position. Okay, the next step is, and if this tail bothers you, well, just tuck it back there. Sometimes it gets in the way at first. Alright, now you're in position to create another loop. Every time you flip the loom, you're creating another loop. Now notice my working yarn now is over here, and my middle finger and my index finger is going to control that working yarn. Now when I insert And I can insert it, yeah, I'll insert it this way, it doesn't matter, right there. Okay, so instead of yarn over, you're just going to meet up with it. Actually, you'll be meeting up with that working yarn, and I want to create a loop here, and I need some tension, so now my thumb is going to press down right on the top of this loop while I do yarn over and I pull through. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to take my hook, bring it back, my middle finger and my thumb are going to hold that hook. I'm bringing back here, the hook stays still, my right hand stays still, the loom flips, the left hand flips the loom. Now I'm creating another loop, so always to the left of the knot, and I don't bring my working yarn over until the hook is inside this loop ready to meet up with it. Okay, and again we're going to move the thumb over to push down on this to create that loop. Okay, hook is in position to receive the yarn. Yarn over. So here are my single crochets. Drop the hook, hold it. The hook really doesn't move very much. Bring that over, yarn over, pull through. Now as you're creating stitches, it's going to be easier to balance this hook. It's going to help you. It's going to help support that hook back there. Okay, flip the loom. So while you're flipping the loom, the hook really isn't going anywhere. It's staying right there. Oops, always go up inside there. Okay, it'll get better, promise. Right now I'm holding this a little bit above the table, a couple inches, but I'll be resting it on my abdomen here in a moment. That's going to be the best and most comfortable position to crochet, but the very beginning of the strip is awkward, and it's just something you have to get past. You can't get around it. Okay, now notice my working yarn. I bring my working yarn horizontally across. My middle finger drags it, controls it. It's not up here and it's not down here. It meets up with the hook. Yarn over, pull through, thumb, and then pull through. There's my single crochet. Okay, I'm going to bring the loom a little bit over and rest it on my abdomen. Alright, here we go. We're going to create a rhythm with the loom. Watch the thumb, watch the middle finger as it drags the yarn and controls the hook. So here we are, we're making the basic strip. Making a beautiful braid as we crochet up the middle of the loom. Okay, so here you have the basic hairpin lace loom strip. Well, and we've made a beautiful braid, very, very short strip, but nevertheless a beautiful, beautiful braid.